Yo, 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 salute, salute. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Freedom marchers, freedom lovers, freedom family, freedom fighters. Snapzilla Gorillas in the building. Hitting you all upside the head with this morning paper. Let me tell y'all, it's cold as hell outside, but my wife has the heater on hell 100 degrees. You understand what I'm talking about? Why are women so cold? It's hell 100 degrees in the house just because it's like 47 degrees outside. She got the thermostat set to hell 100 degrees. Anyway, we're going to get into it this morning. I don't have a lot of time. I have a meeting in about, I want to say 30 minutes or so. But this is not going to take long at all, y'all. Because I have the question, right? A lot of people have the question of why didn't the Democrats release the files when Biden was in office? Okay. Somebody get Daniel Craig homoerotic ass out of here. I'm not dealing with that today. Anyway, why didn't the Democrats release the files when Biden was in office? That is that's a great question. And people, a salute to my brother, Trill Will. He answered the question. He was one of the ones that answered the question. He said it's because the files were sealed during the Biden administration. And I thought about that. I said, the files were sealed. Okay. Now, so the files may have been sealed during the Biden administration, but we have to understand Biden had the presidency, the Democrats had the presidency, they had the House, and they had the Senate. So why couldn't they just unseal them? If they're sealed during that administration, aren't they also sealed during the Trump administration? This is my question, because no one is explaining in reality why the Democrats did not release the files. Because they were sealed. I can't accept that. Because the way the Democrats are acting right now about this whole thing, it's like they didn't have an opportunity for 4 years. They had the opportunity for 4 years. I don't give a hot damn about a seal. You understand what I'm talking about? Because if they were sealed during the Biden administration, they're sealed now. They're sealed during the Trump administration. That is not an excuse. I'm not going to play the left-right paradigm bullshit. They didn't release the files because they didn't want to release the files. Because no one gave a shit. No one gave a shit. No one in Congress, no one in the White House, no one in the justice system, no branch during the Biden administration gave a hot damn about those files. Who cares? Release them. Well, it matters because the people that have the power to release those files are not releasing them. Right? They're going to vote this week. They're going to vote this week to release the files, but they can release emails. They can show emails here and there, but they can't release the files. This is that bullshit. Cool, no one cares because they're protecting pedos. Is that, well, they don't care. I care. Y'all should care. Because your children could be targets of these people. Like, didn't, what's her name tell you, Kelly, Megyn Kelly tell you that 15 is barely legal? In what state is 15 the legal age? In what state is 15 the age of consent? They're changing the rules on y'all right under y'all nose. Trump has the files, bottom line. They all had the files. And this is what I'm trying to point to. Both sides has the files. Both sides had access. Both sides had an opportunity to release the files. Neither side has. So They want to say, all right, well, it's because the files were sealed. Again, if the files were sealed during the Biden administration, they were sealed during this administration, and now they're voting on whether or not to release the files. The grand jury documentation, right? The grand jury documentation that the judge blocked, a Democratic judge blocked that. So that's just the grand jury. There are other information in regards to this that could be released by the government in general, not the left, not the right, by the fucking government. But they're not doing it. They're picking and choosing what to show y'all, right? Trump says smart people don't like him. Trump sucked Bill off. I don't know why that's important. I don't care about that. Bill's a grown-ass man. Trump's a grown man. If they want to suck each other off, let them. I don't give a fuck. What I'm talking about is the goddamn children. Y'all focus on two grown men nutting each other's mouths. I ain't worried about that. I have zero concern about what a grown man does to another grown-ass man. Now, let's go through. Okay, I wanted to see something. I said, how do we get files unsealed in the government? How does that work? I wanted to see that, right? I wanted to see how that's supposed to work. Right? So if you look here, because listen, Tulo says, just like the government lies about history, they lie about every goddamn thing. Trump promised to release him. He did promise to release him. Has he released him? No, he has not. Lord Naraku says, the same people that don't care, that can't do their own taxes, are going to be making judgments on mountains of evidence, thousands of hours of video and audio. Come on. What's your point? What's your point? All right. Where are my minds at? Let me get this motherfucker out of here. I ain't with this shit today. All the years Biden wasn't, and they didn't want them released. Well, Trump is now told Republicans to release him to vote. But then he called it a hoax. Anyway, what it takes to release documents like the Epstein files. Right? So this is on NPR, right? We're going to go through what it takes. The materials related to the Epstein case have not been fully released. NPR's Aisha Roscoe talks with Columbia University's Matthew Connolly about what releasing them would actually entail. Right? So, I didn't actually want to show this first. This is what I wanted to. Hold on. This is what I wanted to show. Today, Attorney General Pam Bondi, in conjunction with the Federal Bureau of Investigation, declassified and publicly released files related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein in the sexual exploitation of over 250 underage girls at his homes in New York and Florida, among other locations. The first phase of declassifying files largely contains documents that have been previously leaked but never released in formal capacity by the U.S. government. So it looks like Pam Bondi and the FBI were able to declassify the documents. So you're telling me that could not have been done by Merrick Garland and the head of the FBI when Joe Biden was president? They were sealed. That's why we couldn't get them released during the Biden administration. Unseal the motherfuckers. We couldn't do that. We couldn't just unseal them. You couldn't go through the process. What's so special about the Trump administration where they can start releasing files and work on and get the process going. What's the difference between that administration and this one? The files were sealed. I asked AI, okay, so go through the process of unsealing the files. Unseal them. We can't do that. There isn't a process to do that by. You had the House, you had the Senate, and you had the presidency. So start the process. You had 4 years. And in less than a year, this is what happened. Attorney General Pam Bondi, and in conjunction with the Federal Bureau of Investigation, declassified and publicly released files related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Now, mind you, when did this come out? February 2025. February 27th. Donald Trump was president for a little over a month. Yet, this is what was done, right? The Department of Justice is following through on President Trump's commitment to transparency and lifting the veil of disgusting actions of Jeffrey Epstein and his co-conspirators. The first phase of files released today sheds light on Epstein's extensive network and begins to provide the public with long overdue accountability. The FBI is entering a new era, one that will be defined by integrity, blah, 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 bullshit. And this is what Kash Patel said. There will be no cover-ups. And he goes through and spews a bunch of lies. Right? Now it says here, Attorney General Pam Bondi requested the full and complete files related to Jeffrey Epstein. In response, the department received approximately 200 pages of documents. So what happened? Pam Bondi asked the FBI for the files. And then they were given 200 pages. A lot of people are on the files. Exactly. So this is what it took. Pam Bondi to say this. To request the full and complete files related to Jeffrey Epstein. That's what she did. And then the department received 200 pages of documents. What was it? Most of the world leaders are on the file, says John. Yes, I agree with that. I would tend to agree. Hollywood is on 98% of the files. 90%, most of your pop star singers are on the files. Most of your famous football and baseball. I agree with that. I would tend to agree. But we won't know for sure until, guess what? We get all the files. Now, they requested the files and received 200 pages. But then what starts to happen? Elon Musk says that Donald Trump is in the files. Now Donald Trump is calling it a hoax. They're stonewalling and all this bullshit. Well, this was a month. 1 month after Donald Trump was president for a little over a month. She asked for all the files and received 200 pages. However, the Attorney General was later informed that thousands of pages of documents related to the investigation and indictment of Epstein that were not previously disclosed. The Attorney General has requested the FBI deliver the remaining documents to the department by 8 a.m. on February 28th and tasked the FBI director, Kash, because that's she's his boss, just so y'all know. Did y'all? I don't know if y'all knew that. Pam Bondi is Kash Patel's boss. Yeah. Elon is on it too. I wouldn't doubt it. Then Republican elected a gay pedophile president. It may very well have. There is a video of Huma Abedin with Hillary Clinton eating. That's what? That's crazy. I ain't never heard of that. Now, think about that. She asked for them and they gave them to her, but they didn't give her all the shit. It really bothers me when people who comment or even narrate or write these blurbs, you need to double check your English. You all suck at it, okay? You cannot unseal a file during the prosecution. I don't care. There was a point where the prosecution was over during the Biden administration. That was Ghislaine Maxwell's trial. They could have released documentation from Jeffrey Epstein's trial. They could have released documents from Jeffrey Epstein's indictment. And then at some point during the Biden administration, Ghislaine Maxwell, guess what? The shit was over. These are fucking excuses that I don't give a hot damn about. I don't care about none of that. That's the bottom line to it. That's the bottom line to it. And how are you sealing a file during the prosecution when the shit's still in process? It's in process. There's nothing to seal yet. You can get them unsealed. You can use subpoenas and special. They can go through it. It can be a process, but they can go through the process and get them unsealed. You understand what I'm talking about? I don't want to hear nothing about none of that shit. The Ghislaine Maxwell trial was blah, blah, blah. I don't give a fuck. There was a trial. There was documentation before Ghislaine Maxwell went on trial. Information that they could have used. I don't give a hot damn about none of that. I wouldn't put it past her to not know everything. All these people know everything. They all know. The establishment Republicans, the establishment Democrats, they all know. They move in the same circles. They all rub elbows with the same people. They all take money from the same people. This is just a reality. It's just a reality, whether y'all like it or not. And see, that's why I don't have to defend neither side, because I don't rock with either side. I don't have to go through mental gymnastics and do all this bullshit to defend one side over the other. Yeah, I just rock with what the reality is. I'll go where the truth and the facts take me. And I don't rock with none of these people. I don't rock with Democrats or Republicans. So it's easy for me to point out the bullshit from both sides. Because there is bullshit on both sides. Now, they're all guilty from the Pope to the lawless president. I agree. Yep, this is true. I mean, it is what it is. Yeah. This is just a reality. This is reality. Now, here's another thing that I want to show y'all. Why was Congress allowed to release the Epstein files and emails? What's next? Okay. This week, the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee made headlines by releasing a trove of 20,000 pages of documents from the estate of Jeffrey Epstein, including a batch of emails that have already set off political shockwaves in Washington. Yeah, look. Released a trove of 20,000 pages of documents from the estate of Jeffrey Epstein. It does not say anything about Ghislaine Maxwell. It says nothing about Ghislaine Maxwell. This is just from the estate of Jeffrey Epstein, including a batch of emails that have already set off political shockwaves in Washington. The release comes just as the House prepares for high-stakes votes on a bill to force the Department of Justice to turn over nearly all its records relating to Epstein and his co-conspirator, Ghislaine Maxwell. That's where it mentions Ghislaine Maxwell. Right now, How did Congress get the documents? We're talking about the Congress that's that's on active right now. Salute to Realize in the building. Salute to you, Queen. Salute to you. Now, how did Congress get these documents? To understand why these specific emails were surfaced now, it is essential to examine not only their content, but also their origins. The House Oversight and Government Reform Committee obtained the recently released emails directly from the estate of Jeffrey Epstein. After issuing a congressional subpoena for private correspondence and financial records. Among them were emails in which Epstein claimed that Donald Trump knew about the girls. A statement that has already drawn, that has already drawn fierce denials from Trump's camp and renewed scrutiny from both parties. Other emails referenced figures like Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew, Larry Summers, and it's the Trump connection that has dominated most headlines. So this is what our Congress did. This is what Congress did to get those documents. They obtained, They obtained recently emails, blah, blah, blah. They issued a congressional subpoena for private correspondence and financial records. Among them, and they got them directly from the estate of Jeffrey Epstein. So you mean to tell me that the Democrats during the Biden administration couldn't have done the same shit? Is that what we're to believe? Artem, I don't know who you're talking about, but you said Biden isn't a pedophile. Where do you get that information? How do you make that determination? What makes you say that? You say he isn't a pedophile. He said some wild shit about children rubbing his leg and having people sitting on his lap. I don't know what you're talking about, but these are words that came out of Joe Biden's own mouth. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Think about that. He showers with his daughters. That's what's, hey, I mean, it's weird how Democrats were hanging out with Jeffrey after he was convicted. Everybody was hanging out with Jeffrey. Jeffrey was a power broker that moved and shook within the politics. It is what it is. They were still investigating Ghislaine. I don't give a fuck about none of that. That's a bullshit excuse. What did you read? What I just wrote? What I just read? Did you see this? The House Oversight, Government and Government Reform Committee obtained recently released emails. They just issued a congressional subpoena from the estate. I don't give a shit about none of that. They got this. They got these from the estate. Not from, it doesn't say Ghislaine Maxwell's trial or the investigation in regards to Ghislaine Maxwell. Here comes CW with an excuse, because that's all it fucking was. That's all it is. When did Ghislaine Maxwell's trial end? When did the trial end? Did it end? Did it end this year or did it end during the Biden administration? Matter of fact, hold on. Let me see. Y'all playing games. Y'all playing games. Okay. Let's see. Now, y'all playing games with me. When did Ghislaine Maxwell get convicted? You're telling me they were still investigating Ghislaine Maxwell. When was she convicted? Does anybody know? Does anybody know when Ghislaine Maxwell was convicted? Yes, he was tried and convicted during the first Trump administration. They didn't release the files then either, did they? See, y'all think I'm riding for Trump. No, I'm not riding for Trump. The Trump administration didn't do shit. Guess who else didn't do shit? Guess who else? Y'all think I'm choosing one side over the other, but no, I'm holding both sides accountable. When I hear bullshit, they couldn't do it because it was sealed. You MAGA morons put a draft dodging POW insulting child rapist. You ain't talking about me. Yeah, you ain't talking about me. I'm not MAGA at all. Yeah, you got me fucked up. See, I can come in here and I can spit the truth and the facts, and the shit y'all say ain't going to affect me because I am not a Trumper. Yeah, I don't rock with either side. You got me fucked up. So this bullshit you saying right here, yeah, it don't work. Yeah, knock it off. When was Ghislaine Maxwell convicted? And when did Donald Trump become president? Anybody tell me? You're right. I don't vote. You're right. Thank you for reminding everybody that I don't vote. You're absolutely right. I sure don't. Yeah. I don't even vote. See, these are the types of arguments that they make when they don't have an argument. You don't even vote. Yeah, you ain't got shit to say. She was convicted in December 29th of 2021. How is that even a question? Well, Busco, because I'm being told that the Biden administration could not release the files because they were sealed during Ghislaine Maxwell's investigation and trial. But you just showed that that's a bullshit-ass excuse. So when did Joe Biden's administration end? When did he stop becoming president? When did Donald Trump become president? Anybody tell me? See, I love how y'all are proving my point right here. This guy right here says she was convicted on December 29, 2021. How is that even a question? If you can't figure out how it's a question, then I can't help you. Exactly. It's a government cover-up. It's a government cover-up. Not a Republican cover-up, not a Democrat cover-up. A government cover-up. If you don't understand how that's a question, I'm nuts. I'm just see, this is what they do. They start launching ad hominem attacks because you can't dispute what I'm saying. You can't dispute it. You do know Bill Clinton was a Democrat when I don't give a hot damn about none of that. Y'all are hyper-focused on somebody's getting their dick sucked. Ghetto trash, whatever. Tell me you love Trump without... Who you talking to? You ain't talking to me. Therefore, I'm out your business. Yeah, I don't care what they do. It's a cover-up for and by the elites. Exactly. He may very well be. Now we want to see all the Jeffrey information. Yeah, that's all. What's the problem? So, here you go. Ghislaine Maxwell sentenced to 20 years in prison for conspiring with Epstein to sexually abuse minors. What date is this? Right? She was previously found guilty December 29th, 2021. That is in the first year of Joe Biden's presidency. The first year. Now, that's the first year. 2021. Now, what's 21 minus, what's 2025 minus 2021? Let's see what the answer is. because my math is off. Maybe my math is off. Maybe I don't understand the math. Maybe I don't understand the math. They're probably all PDF. Probably. Brainwash. I don't know who you're talking about. Trump is the worst president in human history, and you know it. Attacking a straw man. You're attacking a straw man. Realize is, yeah, you're attacking a straw man. I don't care about it. That's ridiculous. Now, I'm going to show you guys what 2025 minus 2021 is. This is the answer right here. 4 years. 4. Ghislaine Maxwell was convicted in 2021. So what are we talking about? The trial started during the first Trump administration. Y'all are full of shit. MAGA zombies make excuses for Orange Buffoon all the time. Yeah, I don't know who you're talking about. Are there some MAGA people in this chat? Because you ain't talking about me. Because Donald Trump is a piece of shit too. He helped cover it up. He knew about it. Matter of fact, I talked about it the other day. Yeah. Maxwell trial began in November 21, 9 days after Trump was sworn in. Hey, y'all. YRB says that Trump was sworn in on November 9 days after November 29th, 2021. See, this is how you know what you're dealing with. YRB is telling us that Donald Trump swore in as president in 2021, y'all. Yeah. This is what's going on here. This man, YRB, says that the trial began in November 29th, 2021, 9 days after Trump was sworn in. Can you guys tell me when presidents get sworn in? Is it November 20th or January 20th? What day does presidents get sworn in? And did Donald Trump get sworn in as president in 2021? Maybe I'm confused. Maybe I'm confused. Maybe I'm confused. Now, maybe I'm confused. Maybe I'm confused. Maybe I'm confused because she was convicted on December 29th of 2021. She was convicted on December 29th, 2021. Joe Biden was already president. It was in the first years of his presidency. So how would Donald Trump have been sworn in on November 20th of 2021 when Joe Biden swore in on January 20th of 2021? Can somebody help me? Help me understand this. The December conviction was 10 months after the beginning of the trial, 9 days into the Trump administration. This is sad. The December conviction was 10 months after the beginning of the trial, 9 days into the Trump administration. When did the Trump administration start, y'all? The first one. When did Donald Trump's first term start? Can anybody tell me? Who was president in December of 2021? There you go, William. Thank you. Trump's first presidency started in January 2017. So, did I miss something? Did Donald Trump win? Did he beat Biden the first time and become president in 2021? Did he help me understand it? So this guy says that Donald Trump got sworn in as president on the 20th of February in 2021. All right, I'm done, y'all. I got to go to this meeting. This is sad. Donald Trump was president during the 10-month trial. Oh boy. This is sad. This is sad. Goddamn paywalls. Oh boy. Listen. Joe Biden was president during the Ghislaine Maxwell trial. Okay? I'm just giving you the answer. Joe Biden was president, okay, in 2021. He got sworn in January 20th, 2021. The trial began in November of 2021, and it ended in December, a month later. Ghislaine Maxwell was on trial for a month. Joe Biden and the Democrats had 3 years to get those files released. They had 3 years to do, right? What? They had 3 years to do this. Joe Biden could have had his DOJ, Merrick Garland, the attorney general, when Joe Biden was president. He could have done this. They could have obtained the emails directly from the estate after issuing a congressional subpoena for the private correspondence and financial records. They had 3 years to do that. Yet, they never talked about it. They didn't bring it up. They didn't give a shit about the Epstein files during the Biden administration. Yeah, the insurrection was January. Yes. But this guy wants us to believe that Joe Biden, that Donald Trump was president in 2021. However, also will state that Obama did not direct or order the Department of Justice in taking away particular action. Okay. I got to go. Go educate yourself, dude. They were sealed and didn't have a total immunity like Trump. What the hell are you talking about? What was sealed? What was sealed? How did these get unsealed? How were they able to get the private correspondence and financial records from the Epstein estate? So you're telling me that the Republican Congress, when Republicans are in office, they operate more better. They better operate than the Democrats. You mean to tell me that the Republicans, when they are in control of the House and the Senate and the presidency, they are able to do their jobs better than the Democrats? because the Democrats could have done this very thing. Y'all want to use the Ghislaine Maxwell investigation, the Ghislaine Maxwell trial as an excuse. Well, Ghislaine Maxwell, she was sentenced, right? She was convicted in December of 2021. They had every opportunity. So I don't hear none of that bullshit. They had every opportunity, but did not do it. You are correct. Congress should have taken up the matter. Yes, they should have. And that's the point. This guy says, I'm mistaken. What am I mistaken about? What's the mistake? Salute to the beautiful sugar-free Mars in the building. My lovely counterpart. Yes. Salute to you, Queen. The beautiful sugar-free Mars. Make sure you drop your link. Y'all want to hear that real talk. No, you're using Maxwell instead of Epstein. What are you talking about? Anybody involved with this, anybody involved with what Jeffrey Epstein did, I'm calling them all out. Anybody that covered this shit up, I'm calling them all out. The excuse that the fucking files were sealed during the Biden administration is just that, a fucking excuse. It's bullshit. Ghislaine Maxwell was convicted in December of 2021. They had 3 fucking years to get those files released. So the bullshit excuse that Ghislaine Maxwell's on trial and that she was being investigated, well, that was over. There is no more investigation. So help me understand. If the Republicans were able to do this, obtain emails directly from the estate of Jeffrey Epstein after issuing a congressional subpoena for private correspondence and financial records, why couldn't they do that during the Biden administration? They were sealed. If they were sealed during the Biden administration, they were sealed during this administration. Files don't get automatically unsealed when a new fucking administration starts. You know what happens? They do shit like this. FOIA request. Subpoenas. I don't care if she appealed. She appealed. She always appealing. So what that got to do with anything? Now it's her appeal. She appealed. Get the fuck out of here. The bottom line is the Democrats had an opportunity to release these fucking files during their administration. They did not. And the excuse of sealed documents is bullshit. Bullshit. Okay. The Ghislaine Maxwell shit is sealed. All right. Get shit directly from the estate of Jeffrey Epstein then. I want to hear that bullshit. Her appeal was ejected in 2024. So, I don't give a fuck. You're working too hard to justify Trump murdering Epstein in jail. I have never, this is sad. When did I try to justify Trump murdering Epstein in jail? When did I even bring that up? I'm sad. See, this is what y'all do when you can't dispute what I'm saying. Oh, you're sad. You're justifying Trump. You're defending Trump. Again, another misinformed clown. Well, I have given you guys information. I've shown you things. I've shown you receipts. Attorney General Bondi requested the full and complete files related to Jeffrey Epstein. In response, the department received approximately 200 pages of documents. However, The Attorney General was later informed of thousands of pages of documents related to the investigation. When did the Democrats even try? Okay, if you want to say, well, they tried to do it, but they couldn't. They got shot down. That's a different story. Did they even try? It's complete. The asininity is ridiculous. This guy says I'm out of my league. Yet you have yet to explain to me how I'm out of my league, where I'm wrong at. What information can you provide that disputes what I'm saying? The files are still sealed. These are fucking excuses. Yes. So the grand jury stuff is sealed. Some of that is sealed, but there's other information in regards to the investigation itself that are not sealed. There's documentation from the estate. They can get information from the estate of Jeffrey Epstein. These are all excuses. Y'all can miss me with that shit. And y'all can miss me with every excuse that the Trump administration used to try to weasel their way out of this. Oh, it's a Democrat hoax. It's this, it's that. Yeah, Trump is on some bullshit too. Yeah, I got on Donald Trump's ass the other day. But y'all wasn't in here talking that shit. Y'all wasn't in here. Y'all wasn't in here. Yeah. Anyway. Y'all have, listen, the bottom line is this. The Democrats could have released files during that Biden administration. They could have done the very things that they have an avenue to do. They can issue subpoenas. There are a lot of ways they can try to get these files. Did they even try? Can y'all tell me that? No, you can't, because they didn't try. No one gave a shit about the Epstein files during the Biden administration. After Ghislaine Maxwell was convicted and sentenced, that was it. No one gave a shit for 3 years. Now, Trump, he told y'all he was going to make sure day one the files came out when he became president, and he lied, right? So they're all full of shit. That's the whole point. All these motherfuckers is full of shit. They're all covering for pedos. Right? This is what they're doing. They are all covering for their elite class pedophile friends. This is the point. You guys are trying to make distinctions between the left and the right in regards to this. No, they're not. There is no distinction. It's not even a distinction without a difference. There's no distinction at all whatsoever. These are child diddler protectors or child diddler participants. So the seals were filed, bullshit about why the Democrats didn't release the files during the Biden administration is just that. Complete and utter bullshit. And the only reason the Trump administration is acting like they want to release the files because they're getting all this heat from their MAGA supporters. Yeah. But the reality that y'all want to go with, which is a false reality, is that it's only the Republicans that participated and none of the Democrats. Oh, the Democrats, they couldn't do it because the files were sealed. Trump said he was looking at releasing the files. He never said it was a campaign promise. He said he would have the files released. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And that's what we got going on. Absolutely. Salute to Queen Sister Latressa in the building. Salute to the Queen Sister. Y'all don't want to hear reality. The reality is the Democrats are fucked up. The Republicans are fucked up. The Democrats are covering this shit up. The Republicans, and they're playing games with y'all with these emails. All these emails back and forth. This is the game they play. to keep y'all distracted. The files will never come out because of this. Salute to the coach, Coach Hudson in the building. Salute to my comrade. Salute to you, bro. It's bullshit. Yes, water is wet. Thank you for pointing that out. Y'all want to, oh, well, this side is worse than the other side. No. They're all in one big club and you ain't in it. They all take money from the same PACs. They all take money from the same special interest groups. They all are beholden to the central bankers. They all are. And then what do they present? They present to you guys differences. They tell you, oh, well, the left has these policies and this philosophy, and the right has these policies, and this. It's bullshit. They have to present the differences to give you the impression that you have a choice. But what did one of these bankers say? I think it was a Rothschild back in the day. Every vote is a vote for us. Give me control of a nation's money, and I care not who makes its laws. That's just the reality. Anyway, y'all, I gotta get out of here. Thank y'all for coming through. I can't tell if y'all hitting the like button. Please hit the like button or hit the downvote button if you're upset because I came after your precious Democrats. I'm a retard. Okay. Sure. I'm a retard. Useless trash. Okay, if I'm useless, then you don't need to be here wasting your time. Let me help you out. Sometimes you guys don't know how to do what's best for yourselves. So I'm gonna do it for you. I'm gonna do it for you. Anyway, y'all stay safe out there, man, and don't let these people get you fucked up in the game, man, because they will keep you fucked up in the game. The fact of the matter is, they are all our enemies, and yeah, the idea is to protect our children and to get justice for the children that were victimized. Children. Yes, the 15, 14, 13, 16-year-old children that were victimized by this asshat in his cohorts. Yes, thank you to my beautiful Queen Sugar Free Mars. She said, smash the like button while you're complaining on your way out. Please do. Peace to y'all. Much love. Like, share, subscribe. And guess what we gonna do? Keep marching forward toward freedom. Peace.